this is my lesson overview. This is a lesson on Google Slides. It's unpacking ratios, and it hits several math standards from 5th to 7th grade about proportional relationships and ratios. The lesson starts with the video from Vocabulary about ratios, and while the kids are watching a lesson, they'll go to the first slide. It says, give me 5. While they're watching the video, and you can obviously do this whole group, they want to say 3 things they learned, 1 thing they want to know more about, and a question that they have. Then we start talking about what they saw, because with ratios, it's all about relationships. So the kids are going to start thinking, okay, part to part here. And they click on the slide and they start recording their thinking on the right-hand side. What's the relationship of basketballs to soccer? They do the same thing with soccer to total, part to whole. Then we move into some other examples. What's the relationship here? And they could use part to part and part to whole. Students look at recipes. So if the recipe calls for 2 eggs and 1 cup of flour, what's the relationship of flour to eggs? And how can we write this? Some cute images on dogs, and dogs versus cats, and kids. So there's some great examples here. We do talk about language, and the kids will have some scenarios about which language it represents the ratios. And then we get into some tasks that have a low floor, high ceiling, looking at device time and kids to devices, and then looking at plans of cell phones. Then they move into the activity where they do some online shopping, and we talk about ratios and how we can use ratings to determine if a product is a good price or a good product for us to buy. So they go through several examples talking about topics they're interested in. And finally, our slide that talks about reflection and what they learned.